Hey folks, welcome back here to the Vegas Don channel and your Week 9 NFL picks. We're almost halfway through the season, this NFL season. Last week we went 9-7, but we started out terribly. After the early games last week, we were 3-6. So the late games and the primetime games certainly helped pick us back up. But 9-7 last week, still at 61%, thankfully, for the season straight up. For entertainment purposes only, this is just a little something fun that we do here on the Vegas Don channel for our community, and leave your comments and your thoughts about my picks and what your picks are and why my picks are all wrong. So let's just jump right into it. Tonight we have the Texans of Houston flying into New Jersey to take on the Jets, the fast airplanes of New York. The Jets are 2.5-point favorites in this one. This line is actually swung quite wildly this week. News that the Texans were going to be without the services of one of their top wide receivers this evening really helped swing the line. So 2.5, the Jets are favored at home here. I'm going to take the Jets at home. I would have taken the Texans had they been at full strength. But I'm going to go with the home crowd here and take the Jets at home. Over under of 42.5 in this one. I think it'll probably stay under. I think that the Texans will probably have a little bit of problem scoring, so I think it'll stay under, and I think that the Jets will cover for sure. And then Sunday's games, you have the Bills taking on my Dolphins, and of course I'm wearing my Dolphins jersey, but I have to be objective and realistic for the purposes of these picks and our community here. Bills are a very good team. They're a very good team at home. The Dolphins are not. We saw that last week with them at home with the Tua return against the Cardinals. Bills are only favored by 6 in this one. I definitely expect the Bills to win, and I think they're going to more than cover. I think that that's a very low spread for the Bills. And then you have an over-under of 48.5 in this one. I think that the Bills will probably go over on this one. Although, no, you know what? I'm going to correct that. I'm going to say it'll go under, because the last time these two met, it was 31-10, I think. So that's 41. And so it'll probably stay under in this one because I don't think the Dolphins will be able to score all that much. And then you have the Ravens hosting the Broncos. This is actually a pretty good matchup. Both teams with winning records here. The Ravens are 6.5-point home favorites. Definitely like the Ravens in this one at home. I think the Ravens will cover. I think they will win. Over under 46.5. I think it'll probably stay under on that over under 46.5. Chargers at Browns. This is a toughie. You don't know which Browns team is going to show up here. The Chargers are 1.5-point favorites in this one. I'm going to take the Chargers. I think they will cover. It'll probably be a field goal in my humble estimation. Over under 41.5. I think that they'll probably stay under on this one. The Browns have all kinds of problems scoring, so I think it'll probably stay under. And then you have the Saints going into Charlotte to take on the Carolina Panthers. Definitely take the Saints here. Saints are favored by 7. I think they'll more than cover on this one. 43.5 is your over-under on this, and I think that they will certainly go over on that. I think the Saints will probably put up some points on that woeful Carolina defense. And then you've got the Raiders taking on the Bengals in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 7-point favorite in this one. Seems like a fat line, especially the way you can't tell the Jekyll and Hyde which way the Jekyll and Hyde Bengals will be playing. But I do like the Bengals at home, and I do think that they'll cover in this one. The Raiders are just not that good. The coach even came out and said that we're just not a good football team right now. So that's really gonna have a problem with the Raiders on the field there. 46.5 is your over under. I think that they will probably go under on that one. I don't think that the Raiders will probably score very much at all. I could see them scoring maybe 10 points, maybe 13 tops in this one. Falcons hosting the Cowboys. This is a toughie. I went back and forth on this one for a while. Falcons are 3-point home favorites in this one. I'm going to take the Falcons. I think this will be a push. I think this will be another Younghoe Koo last-second field goal against the Cowboys, in my humble estimation. So I take the Falcons at home. Over under 51.5. They're expecting a little bit of scoring here. I'm going to go under on the over-under. I think that they'll go under that point total. And then you have the Titans hosting the Patriots. But in a matchup between these two teams, point spread being 1.5, I'm going to take the home team. I think the Titans will definitely cover that, and that they'll definitely win the game. Over under here of 37.5, and it'll probably stay under. I don't think either team is really very capable of scoring all that well right now. And then you got the Cardinals in the late games hosting the Chicago Bears. Bears traveling out to Phoenix. The Cardinals of Arizona are 1.5-point favorites, and the over-under 44.5 in this one. I definitely like the Cardinals in this one. I think the Cardinals will win. I think they will cover, and I think they'll probably go over. I can see this being a high-scoring game between these two offenses. So, yeah, definitely take the Cardinals at home. Eagles hosting the Jaguars. Definitely take the Eagles here. Eagles are 7.5-point home favorites here. I think they will definitely cover that. Trevor Lawrence is just having all kinds of problems this year. Over-under 46.5. I think that it'll probably go under. I think the defenses will probably show up and make this a pretty low-scoring game. But Philly will definitely cover and come out on top. And then you have the Lions, the good one, the game of the week. CBS is sending their A-team. I think it's CBS. Or no, I'm sorry, it's Fox that's covering this one, I believe. Sending their A-team with Tom Brady. The Lions are a road 3-point favorite in this one. I do like the Lions on the road. I think that the Lions are really, really tough. They're starting to play really well of late. Over under of 48.5. They're expecting a little bit of scoring in this one. I think it'll probably go over. I think there will be some scoring in this one, but I do think the Lions will prevail, and I think it'll probably be like a 5 or 6 point victory in my humble estimation. And then we've got the last of the late afternoon games, the Rams of LA traveling into Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. I think this is a tough one. I really wanted to pick the Seahawks here, but you saw, if you watched that game last week, and my apologies to 7-Eleven Man and to Michael here, if you saw that game last week, you saw some tumult and turmoil between teammates on the Seattle sideline. That's never a good sign, and that's really the sign that something else is going on in that locker room, and that scares me. And the Rams really, they came out firing when they have Puka Nacua back, they got Cooper Kupp back last week. I think the Rams will probably win this one on the road. I hope I'm wrong, but I do think that the Rams will probably win this one. Rams are 1.5-point favorites. Over under here of 48.5. I think it'll probably stay under on that over under. And then Sunday night's game, Vikings of Minnesota hosting the Colts of Indianapolis. Joe Flacco has been announced as a starter for the rest of the way, for the rest of the season for the Colts. I will take the Vikings here. I think the Vikings will prevail at home. I think that 5 will probably be an easy mark for them to achieve. They will win by more than 5. And the over-under here of 46.5. I like the Vikings at home, and I do think that they will probably go under. I don't think that the Colts will be able to score very well there in Minnesota. And then the Monday night game, Buccaneers versus the Chiefs in a rematch. So a rematch of sorts, all kinds of rematches here. Buccaneers are 6.5-point home. Road underdogs here. Over under here of 45.5. I like the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will definitely cover, and especially with the Buccaneers missing key receivers like they are. That's devastating to that team, and I think they'll probably go under. I could see this one being like a 23-10 type of score for this. Thank you all so very, very much for joining. Again, this is for entertainment purposes only, just a little something fun that we like to do here with our community. Let me know your picks and your thoughts on my picks, and we'll see you on the other side. Hopefully we can right the ship and get back into the double digits in the win column. We'll see you next time, folks. Thank you for joining.